Why is there somebody's random 240 on my YouTube channel? Why? Because I'm getting their single cam. I'm getting the right one. See, look, it's casted there. It's got a front sump. Getting the right one. Man van returns. Look at the Cummins. Keep the Cummins. Everybody look at the Cummins. Red Cummins. Whoop. Yes, sir. Got an engine for the white car. Okay, this is the right one. For real, for real. Not playing no BS games. Right?
Right. Getting this shit running this week.
Yeah. This week, my white car is going to drive. No doubt about it, folks. We got to do swap a few things over on the intake. Make the trans up to it. And shabam. We'll be off. Obviously need oil, coolant, filter, the whole nine. Put the AC compressor on it, AC bracket, hook the belts up, put the heat shield on the manifold, put the rest of the fuel system, fuel rail, and injectors. Will be golden. So much is happening. Hang on, seatbelt. Please hang on.
You're not going nowhere with that seatbelt. There, we're out.
So you're probably wondering, why is the single cam that you just got torn apart, ripped to pieces? Why are we doing this all over again? Oh, that's right, because I bought another garbage frickin' engine. I'm not saying that it's garbage. I'm just saying that it was seized up and it wouldn't turn over for the hell of it. So I went ahead and got some rust remover. To make it a long story short, guys, here are the pistons. We got the engine in the garage, got it up on the stand. We were adding the fuel rail on it, and we were putting a little bit of oil in it, and then see if we could turn it over by hand, and it didn't turn over by hand. Now, yes, I'm kind of an idiot. I should have checked this when I was buying the engine, but the guy swore up and down that the engine was good and that it came out of that S13 that you guys saw in the beginning of the video. So, with that being said, I am here in this situation now, tearing down this engine. The rings were just seized to the cylinder's wall. Excuse me. The rings were just seized to the cylinder wall. All I had to do was pour a little bit of ATF down there, take the head off, and then tap them with the mallet, and they broke free, and they're out now. But I'm going through the process of cleaning up all the cylinder walls with a little bit of rust remover. I don't know where I put it. It's over here somewhere. Somewhere over here. There it is. So I've got some rust remover. I'm using this. And then I'm also using the good old flex hone down here. And we're cleaning out the cylinders themselves. I'm going to order some new piston rings. And then we're just gonna throw this guy together and get it in the car and get it driving, because I'm tired of ending up in the same situation with these KAs and stuff. And I just want to drive this white car and enjoy it as a nice little daily and go from there. So I'm gonna show you guys real quick just what the block looks like. I'll throw in a couple, well actually I'll throw in this video real quick so you guys can see what it looked like before. And then I'm gonna show you right now the after. So similar to the CA, guys, I went through and just used my flex hone and cleaned out all of the cylinders. All that surface rust and stuff is now out of there. I put a small little crosshatch in each cylinder wall. I'm going to get some new rings for the pistons, clean these guys up the best that I can. This head has been ran through. Someone's already taken care of this head. It's really clean, and the head gasket itself is actually fairly new. I don't know if you guys can tell, but this was just recently done. So a little bit of backstory on this engine real quick for you guys. This was in that S13 that you saw in the beginning of the video, and that S13 sadly had an engine fire. Oh, I threw it all away already. There was a sensor that was on the intake manifold that was already melted and burnt up. And actually the alternator's right here. You guys can see the plug on the alternator has melted. The insulation on the wire has melted. So he had some sort of short in the harness, and then it caught on fire. And obviously they got the fire out, and then they got the car back to their house or whatever they did, and they ended up swapping an S14 engine into it, and that's how I ended up picking up this single cam here. Now, before the engine fire, somebody had taken the head off, replaced the head gasket, had the valves ground down, and basically just cleaned up the head. So you guys can see here, this thing is really, really, really clean. There's no scarring or anything on the cam lobes themselves. The valve springs look really, really great. Everything in here is just very clean. So I'm not too worried about the head. That will be squared away for me. Like I said, I've got all the other pieces. There's the fuel rail, injectors, everything is on there that was missing beforehand. So just frustratingly enough, we weren't able to just drop it right in like I wanted to. But we ended up finding that, like, I guess caused the engine to fail, or maybe caused it to seize. I'm not sure. I don't know how this happened, but this bolt itself right here was backed out and was loose, and then the bolt that holds the tensioner guide itself, I don't know where I threw it. I put it over here somewhere. The tensioner guide itself, it backed out, and it was just hanging out chilling. It was actually at the bottom of the engine. If you guys look right here on the oil pump, you can see where it kind of rubbed against the oil pump. So we're gonna have to do a new timing chain, new guides, and probably just a new chain tensioner just to be safe. Put a little bit of blue Loctite on these guys, torque them down, and get this engine back together. Hey, what's up guys? I just want to pop in real quick while I'm editing the video. I don't mean to interrupt, but I want to let you know that me and the guy that I bought the engine from, we are not on bad terms. He actually refunded me half of my money. He feels really bad about the engine. He swore that it was a good engine up and down, and he was nice enough to work with me on that, give me my money back. I didn't really pay much for the engine at all. It was dirt cheap, $140. So it was really nice of him to refund me half of that, and then also, you know, work with me on this and let me keep the engine. That way we can get it all fixed up and get it running right and back in the car. So I just want to let you guys know that. Back to the video later. So I just wanted to fill you guys in real quick so you're not lost in the dark and you kind of get an understanding of how an engine showed up for the white car and hopefully how we can get this white car going. It's kind of frustrating, and I guess, I mean, it's not obvious, but I know these engines are 30 years old, and I know a lot of them are, you know, probably not running like they used to, but you would think somebody would, you know, rebuild them, or like, you know, in the mid 2000s, late, or, you know, well, I guess early 2000s, you think somebody would have pulled these engines out and given them a little bit of love, and you think you'd be able to find one laying around, but I guess people literally just pull these things and just scrap them, just throw them away. And it kind of sucks because I think it takes the originality away from the car. That's what the car came with from the factory, was a single cam, and that's what belongs in the car. I don't know. I know everybody pulls them and does swaps and, you know, wants to make the 240 fast and drift cars and stuff, but I have just this weird obsession with making things all original like they're supposed to be, or close to it, I should say. So with that being said, guys, that is the situation on the KA. Once I get new rings ordered in for this guy and a timing chain, obviously a head gasket, I'll probably just buy, you know, a whole gasket kit and then button this engine back up. I have a throwout bearing for the transmission. The clutch that was with it is fairly new. I mean, it looks great. It's laying over here underneath my stuff. I would show you, but it's all the way under there. And if you haven't noticed, I'm filming on my cell phone because I forgot my memory card for my actual camera in the house, and I just didn't feel like going to grab it. But that is that, guys. That's the situation on the white car. I guess I just don't have very good luck with these single cams. Here soon, we'll get this thing up and running and have a, you know, a beautiful stock 240 on the page. Until then, guys, I will see you in the next video. Later. I'm always in the doghouse.